Hello, welcome back everyone, or to those of you who weren't on this morning's private safari, welcome. We are obviously on Pridelands. Those on private safari yesterday would have seen that there was a female elephant who had a really bad wound on her foot. We're not sure what's caused it, but thanks to the incredible help from Conserv.earth and with Painted Dog TV, we are going to fund the vet operation and the helicopter fees to come out and try to treat this animal. She's got a small calf of about a year old, so quite important. So we're just giving you a quick update. Joffers and I were out this morning with Matt, and then also Victoria, Yuka and Sarah were out in the other vehicle. We looked for her, we found her. She's actually just behind us. I can't see her right now. So they're probably about 100 meters away from us. You can't see her, Maddie, don't worry. And we're basically now waiting for Pete Rogers. A lot of you who know well, we've done a lot of work with Pete in the past with all sorts of animals, so very exciting stuff. Pete's come in on a Saturday to come help this incredible animal, and then Jerry is flying in, so we're waiting for the chopper. The chopper is going to be landing just behind us, and yes, so a big thank you to all of those. You will have seen in the link in the description, there is a pay gate to Conserv.earth where you can donate to help the treatment of this animal. And again, a massive thank you to everyone who is donating. And even if you can't afford to donate, being able to share this on your social medias to raise awareness for these type of things. And this is why Painted Dog and Conserv have emergency funds. This is type of stuff that conservationists can't plan for, reserves can't plan for, and of course they're very expensive operations. I mean, the global fuel price at the moment, the cost of running a helicopter, all that are massive expenses. So a really big thank you to everyone out there who is helping to save this beautiful elephant. She doesn't have a name yet, but I think by the end of today she might have a nickname. But I think let's get up and close to her just in case. Now remember, even with a healthy animal, when we are darting, when the vets are darting, things can go wrong, things do happen. So just remember, this is happening in the moment, and we have some of the best people on the ground. I mean, Jerry's been flying choppers for
she's many years.
Many years. Pete Rogers is probably one of the most experienced vets in South Africa when it comes to this type of work. Pete has started off with Natal Parks Board. That's when I met Pete. My mother didn't trust the doctors in Zululand, so when I was a little kid and I went for a fall and I had to get stitches, my mother didn't take me to the doctor, and clearly she took me to the Parks Board vet. So Pete Rogers actually stitched my head up, so I know his stitching's pretty good, because there's barely a scar. Pete's very proud.
It's done pretty well.
Yeah, Pete's pretty proud of his work. But also do remember, and particularly with an animal that's got an injury like this, so obviously a lot of her liver, her heart, other organs will be under a bit more stress. But we're really lucky today. The weather is good. It's not too hot. Heat's also a big problem when it comes to dealing with these animals. So the cloud cover is coming in. Everything's looking good. We will get to all your questions. This is just a quick update. I can see vehicles coming. The chopper should be on its way shortly. So don't go anywhere. This is a quick update. We'll be back probably within the next half an hour, 45 minutes. And obviously Pete will, you know how Pete, he'll explain everything. If he says a few bad words, sorry, or make some bad jokes, because Pete loves making a bad joke or three, or teasing me. So just be prepared for that. But yeah, so everyone, let me just have a quick look. Let's see who's here. Debbie, Giraffe Girl, Pips, Mary, James, nice to see you. Julie, always wonderful. Carol, Heidi, Megan. So great to have you all here. And as I said, if you aren't able to afford to donate, just sharing the link, getting as many people aware about this type of stuff as possible is just as good. So we do appreciate all those who are making donations, and to everyone else who just shares and spreads the word, a big thank you. And we will see you live in a few minutes. But for now, we're going to say toodaloo.
We'll see you soon.
Welcome live, everyone. Our heroes have arrived. No, we don't have Grant here.
So we are just
we'll
getting the
be
chopper
with,
prepped. We're getting the vets are here getting the dart prepped, and we're shortly going to be going up and tranquilizing the animal. So exciting times ahead, and I mean, we're very fortunate that we've got some of the most skilled vets and pilots in the country. So it's all looking great at the moment.
So we can come have a look. Everyone has met Pete quite a few times now. Yeah. You're becoming a star, Pete.
Just about a little bit older than the last time.
Yeah. So Pete's going to walk us through. He's busy prepping the drugs now.
All right, so the drug we're going to be using on the elephant, that is not on myself, is a drug called etorphine hydrochloride. In this case, the brand name Captivon. We're going to be using 12 12 milligrams, so it's going to be like 1.2 mils. Okay, so it's not a big dose obviously because the animal, it's a big animal, eh? So we're going to just be filling up the dart. Okay, so just another 0.2 of a mil. Stuck here at the bottom. Okay, another 0.2 of a mil, so that's 12 milligrams. Obviously it's got a long needle because the dart is quite deep. Okay. All right. And then we add a tranquilizer for this. And with a drug called Hyalase. Hyalase actually, I just want to go around and get the chaperone from the other side. Thank you. Alright, those two there. Okay. Put those on the side here. Okay, perfect. Alright. Just close that door, please. Stop it. Okay. Alright, so this is the drug called a Zaparan. It's a tranquilizer, but what it also does is that it lowers the blood pressure, because the blood pressure with the etolfine, which is an opioid or a narcotic, it's 10,000 times stronger than morphine. Eh? So we lower the blood pressure with the azaparone, but it also works in a synergistic fashion with the etolfine. So that the more of this you use, the less you have to use of the etolfine. But you've got to balance it because you don't want to give too much tranquilizer. Because when you reverse it, we only reverse the etolfine, and the animal still has the tranquilizer in it. So I just want to take this a little bit down, a little bit more in here. And then we also add an enzyme to the cocktail. It's called hyaluronidase. And what this does is it's a powder form. And what it does is on injection, it dissolves the connective tissue between the individual muscle fibers. So you get a quicker absorption. So if, for example, say instead of the animal going down in 12 minutes, it might go down in 8. And in those extra 4 minutes that you save, you stop the animal from building up all this massive internal body temperature, which they cannot control once they've gone down. Remember, it's humid conditions, luckily quite cool, but it also stops the animal perhaps from going into an inaccessible area or falling into a dam or something. So from a logistical point of view and a safety point of view, we add this enzyme. So it's just all to make everything just that little bit safer for everybody. For the elephant, for the animal, obviously I'm on the animal side, but also for the humans on the ground, and just to make the whole operation a bit easier from a logistical point of view. Okay, so it's got a long needle. Obviously you've got to penetrate the elephant's hide. Screw that in. It's got a bit of a barb to stop the dart bouncing out, and it's got side port injections. So even if you hit bone, it's unlikely to get blocked. Okay, so these are the little things we've learned over the years.
So Pete, how many years ago was your first elephant?
If I tell you, I'll have to kill you.
So that's how long Pete's been doing this for, guys.
I think 1987.
1987 was the first elephant. So as I said, we've got one of the most experienced vets in the world when it comes to big game in Africa.
When I was still young and dangerously good looking.
You're still a catch, Pete, don't worry.
Yes, well, I'm glad to hear that. You just made my day.
Looks getting better with age, Pete.
Hey, this is what I say. In fact, this clown was running around in nappies when I first met him.
And he's still as naughty now.
He's still a clown. A bit of a bigger one, eh?
You might actually, we might need a second dart for Brent.
Well, this is expensive. I'd rather use a wheel spanner. Alright guys, so we off, eh?
Cool.
Alrighty.
Where's Yuka? She has not. That's fine.
I don't know, speak to Jerry, maybe one of you guys can fly with.
So Simone is going to fly with, and then I'll be on ground to air with Jerry. And Jan.
So this is the right
Okay.
view.
So just take pictures, enjoy.
On air pressure, I'm
So
using
Jerry will strap you in front next to
on the
pilot.
ground you use according
So
to the
that
distance.
shoots from behind, so
But from
Jerry
there-
can put him in the right spot.
Okay.
Distance is changing.
Have fun.
Keep it on 6.
It's actually, you can probably keep it on inside, it's fine. Yeah.
Do you need me
that's
to
it,
take a
guys.
camera?
No,
Always be very careful.
don't worry about it.
This is
Okay.
more
Just take
dangerous
pictures.
than rifle. If I shoot you in the hand,
Do you have a hair tie?
you'll be
Yeah,
okay.
I've
If I
got
shoot you in the
one.
hand with this stuff, you'll die.
Hi.
So just behave
How
yourself.
are you? Thanks
Okay.
for letting me join you.
No, you're welcome.
Morning.
Alrighty, so as you can see, Pete's now completed the dart process. So we're going to be going up shortly and carrying on with the operation. Thanks, Pete, for going through that whole explanation.
My pleasure.
And have a safe flight, and we'll see you shortly.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll see you on the
Perfect.
ground. Let's do this.
Okay, let's get going,
Let's
guys.
go.
I think with Anton. Your hand's on the back with us, yeah. It's fine. She can just film with a small Sony. It's okay.
They don't have water.
They can get. And just Anton, is it possible that there's any drums of water at eco training?
Yeah.
So 25-liter drums of water, if possible. It's okay. Don't worry. Enjoy it.
Can I take the
Yeah, you're gonna just jump in. Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
No, just jump in. You've got comms with Anton. Let me turn our radio off. Just turn that one off, Josh. Okay, guys. Where's my? Yeah. Thank you very much, Yuka. Much easier for us to see questions on a bigger screen.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here before we get dust blasted. Thanks, Jerry. Let's go around. Yeah, hold on. We're gonna go up and over.
It's when you know you've got a good pilot, when he doesn't start up the chopper while everyone's still close by, so we don't get absolutely windswept and covered with dust.
Which has happened to me many times. Okay, I just need to find that.
So as you can see, it's quite an involved process, with everything from ground teams to air teams, and we're extremely fortunate that
5
we're
out of
able
5.
to find the elephant cow this morning. And I think from Brent's great spot is what actually initiated all of this. So well done to Brent for
Well, thanks to Victoria for finding her on private
yeah,
safari
and I mean
yesterday.
a huge well done to Victoria yesterday afternoon, as well as Matt. I mean, they're actually the ones that initially saw the animal and brought it to our attention. And a huge thank you to Painted Dog TV as well, and from a Conserv side. We really appreciate the efforts put in from both sides, and to make these operations.
And of course,
Success.
a very special thanks to Balule
Yes.
and Balule Management for allowing us to come on an operation like this. Particularly, these operations can be very, very sensitive. So it is a huge privilege, and a big thank you again to Balule Management and the wardens and the landowners, Anton, etc. And also quickly, I have to say a big thank you to Dunlop for our amazing tires, because we're going to have to go through some quite thick bush. And then to Rogue, making sure I don't get thorns in my feet. And to Lead Lenser, and to Stanley, where's my water glove? Keeping us hydrated. Okay. But again, very special thank you to Balule in particular, and to Anton and Pridelands. Okay, they should be just here somewhere.
Last we had a visual of the herd. They were just up on our left-hand side up here. So what will happen now is the helicopter is going to go up. They'll get visual of the herd from the air, and we'll wait for the directives from them as to where that animal goes. As Brent was saying earlier, this is now where the helicopter becomes a very crucial factor in the tranquilizing. It's able to keep us safe, as well as the individual that we're going to tranquilize safe, and make sure that it's all done in the right way.
And also remember, we've got a huge amount of elephants here on Pridelands, So the helicopter will be crucial in keeping the ground crews safe while they're working. So just tell Anton we're going to stand by at the junction of Balule. You can just tell Anton we're going to stand by and wait there. I think they've already found it. Matty, tell me if you want me to stop. Can you go forward a bit for you, Matty? You can hear the elephants trumpeting at the chopper already. Balule Junction. Balule Junction in Global North. Dart, you can tell him darts in. Copy, thanks Jerry. I've got the visual. So did you tell them darts in? So that's what's happening here.
You'll notice now how the helicopter is going to hover above them, watch the individual that they've darted just to ensure that it's remained in the correct area, where the chopper will really assist now as well, able to drive that elephant toward an open area, ensuring it's not going to fall on any dangerous stumps or anything of the kind. And you'll see how they'll now maneuver the helicopter, maneuver the herd of elephants. And I think this is a huge positive to have Jerry up there as the pilot. Unbelievably well skilled.
We've got quite a small crowd with us, so we're going to have to go out the clock as well, just so they wake up together.
Copy, thanks. Okay, so those of you who are on drive with Joffers and I this morning, we said there was quite a strong possibility that they would have to dart the calf. I think stay on the chopper there, Maddie, because they're going to go down again. So the calf's about a year old. So they don't want the calf to wake up without its mother. So they'll dart the calf so she wakes up together, because they'll find the rest of the herd quite easily, but a little calf can get quite lost and whatnot in these things. So they're going to dart the calf quickly. Now again, remember, you can help pay for this operation. There's a link in the description of this live stream to how you can donate to the operation to help fix that poor Ellie's foot. I think this could be the herd in front of us, Maddie.
Yeah,
it
same
is.
herd just in front here.
So we're just going to stand by here. There's Snaggletooth, who looks to be the matriarch. And we probably see in the next minute or two the female with the injury. She's going to start showing some symptoms. She's already walking a lot slower. So also from a vehicle point of view, we've got to be very careful at the moment. But she's still got food in her mouth, Maddie. So there she is at the back. She's still got a big piece of knobthorn bark in her mouth. Okay, so they're coming in to dart the, just watch your head, Joffers, for the camera. They're coming in to dart the calf now. So there's no one behind us, Ayan, in case I have to reverse quickly. So sometimes you get misplaced aggression when the elephants are being chased around by a chopper like this. Of course, it's very stressful. So we're going to make sure we also get out of the area in case we have to move quickly. So I'm just going to move back a little bit.
So at this point as well, what the helicopter is doing is keeping them in a little open clearing, just making sure it's again safe.
Yeah, Dizzy, it was very fast finding. Hang on. Nice bit of aircon. Okay, so we were able to find it very fast because we found her this morning on game drive, and we were sitting with her, and then Johan, the warden of our area from Balule, spent some time with her again. So she's down. She's down.
So Maddie, I don't know if you'll be able to see there, but directly below the helicopter you can see the cow with the injured foot. She is down below the tree there, just on the right hand side between these two dead trees.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. So what we're doing is we're rushing in now. We need to put a stick in her trunk to make sure she can breathe properly.
Let me know if you stabilize there, Brent.
Copy, will do. Okay. No, wait, Jeff is. Yeah, you got it. So we're just going to make sure she hasn't fallen on her chest. Okay, just lift the foot for me. So elephants can't breathe through their mouth. So we put a stick in its mouth. She should be fine there. Okay, we're just going to have a look.
Right, so
She's going to come in. She's breathing nicely. We normally want to make sure she has about 6 breaths a minute. And it goes slower than that, 5 to 6 breaths a minute. If it goes slower than that, it's a bit of a problem. So I'm just holding my hand there. She's breathing fine. She's fallen quite well. So the biggest problem is when an elephant falls on its chest. Shame, my girl. Okay, just grab the iPad so you can see people's questions. So we're just going to wait for Pete now. So she's breathing well. She's breathing a little bit faster than we would normally expect an elephant, and that's most certainly from the wound. Her body is fighting. Yeah, you can show the wound.
Mary Jo, you're asking will they dart the calf too? They are going to dart the calf?
No, they're probably not going to dart the calf because it stayed with the rest
it stayed with the rest of the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Fantastic.
So you can see here, it's a really bad wound. She's fallen actually perfect for Pete to work on. Yeah. This leg should be fine. Yeah, you can call Anton. Yeah.
I'm just going to get airborne just to make sure it's safe. I just want to see that those other animals have moved off far enough.
Copy, thanks. Yeah.
Dizzy, you're asking, it's going to be hard for darting a moving calf. So what's actually happened is the calf has stayed with the rest of the herd. So in this instance, the calf won't be darted. It is safe. It is with the rest of the herd. The rest of the herd is not far. So when we do get her up and going again, they'll find each other very quickly. What's going to happen now is Pete the vet has been dropped off by the helicopter. Jerry the pilot with the chopper, he's going to go back up, and he's just going to make sure now that he keeps us safe and he keeps the herd at bay.
So what's happening now is we're just folding her ear over her eye. So even though the animal is heavily sedated, they still sometimes can pick up movement and things like that, which could stress them out. So while we're waiting for Pete, he's on his way, we just cover her eye with her ear. It's quite normal to do that with elephants. I mean, wow, yo. Oh, no. Let's see. It's in Anton's vehicle. Anton, can Anton bring all the wet stuff from the vehicle, please? Can I help you? Yeah, I just don't want her to wake up. I'm joking. No, I'm just joking, Pete. I learned from you.
You got it?
Just, Vex, can you grab my a kakoi or something? The ear's not going to stay in place. To the tree, and I'll just put that over it. Yo!
Canadian, it is unbelievable flying. I mean, it takes years and years and years of experience to get to the point that you see in the way that Jerry maneuvers that helicopter around.
Okay, so Maddie, you come in, you can have a look what Pete's doing and you can explain what he's up to.
Alright, so yeah, we just put a, any anesthetic, we put a catheter into a intravenous catheter in. And the whole idea really there is to make sure we've got access to vein. So should the animal stop eating again, it's always good, you look at the blood, a beautiful red colour, it means it's well oxygenated. So those are little things you look at. Now the wound itself looks bloody bad, but there's one thing we've got to remember, guys. This cow has got a calf, a small calf. So, it's a difficult decision what it makes. But it does tell me, looking at that, the it's been on since time. If it's still there. So, alright, so
Maddie, if you need someone to just move the car and just ask Vix or UK to move it.
Kennedy, the calf is actually safe with the rest of the herd, and they're actually not too far from our position currently, but we are keeping a watchful eye. We have got a station there with them.
Okay. So again, a massive thank you to Balule for allowing us to be part of this operation and to share it with all of you. It is incredible that we are able to work so well with reserve management and the landowners to be able to bring you these type of scenes and show the real side of conservation that's happening in Africa. It often doesn't make it to the main screen. Most documentaries are all about the beauty and whatnot. Unfortunately, this is the reality of what a lot of animals are facing. Okay, let's go have a look. Pete's starting to work on the wound there, Maddie.
Yeah, you see, this is a very, very old wound there, guys. So the animal is this is months, if not years old, hey. So this is, you can see where it's actually worn through at the bottom here. I'm just trying to see if the snare is still on there. It doesn't appear to be. Huh? So, guys, what I just said just now is that this wound has been here for a long time.
Sorry guys, just please make sure you're not standing between the car and the camera, because that's blocking signal, so you're more than welcome to come around this side.
But the wound has grown over, but having a look at this, there's no scar tissue here. So it would appear to me that she might have got a tusk or something in here at some stage. And it's gone septic, but it's a very, very old wound. If you look at the bottom, you can see the hoof is actually, or the pad is actually worn away. So I must be honest, if this was a younger animal, I would have seriously considered actually euthanizing the animal. But she's got one calf, possibly two, and one very small one at foot. So, for the sake of the calf, or both calves, we're going to have to do our very best here. The more I look at this, the more it seems to me that it was a natural injury. And then people, that would possibly be the next question, is if it's a natural wound, why don't you just leave it to nature? I've got strong feelings on that. Is the breathing okay, guys? Yeah. Just watching that.
Very strong. Who wants to volunteer to count his breath?
It's natural.
Anyone?
We've got 4 fences around the place.
Well, 2 of you can come. So you're going to need your phone or a watch?
And I feel that it's our job, particularly mine as a veterinarian, to alleviate the suffering of animals and to preserve animals' life. Remember, if you're dead for a long time. So this animal's quality of life, the fact that she's still with the herd is encouraging, and that she's got 2 calves. I mean, this injury is quite old. The fact that she's got 2 calves and the little calf seems to be fine, we're going to have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't think, our first thought here was that it was a man-made wound in a snare, but if you look at it, I don't see any actual injuries here. Because often what happens with the snare is that the skin grows over, but then you'd always see a line where the snare was, and I just don't see any sign of that at all. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, Pete, at this point can't really see any immediate sign of a snare there.
No, and I'm feeling deep here, normally what happens is if there is a snare, the biggest part of the wound is usually where the knot is. Okay, so this is where the knot would have been, and usually the knot, the animal's dragging the snare, so the knot sits at the back here. So you would expect the biggest part of the wound to be at the back. All right. So I don't think this is a snare wound. This is definitely some sort of I would say some sort of a natural wound, either running in a log, or some sort of an altercation with another elephant. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here, guys, because if we do euthanize her, it means we're going to lose possibly 2 calves, definitely 1 and maybe 2. So it's clear that she's had this wound for a long time, eh? And she appears to be coping with it. Her condition is good. So I really feel that from my experience anyway, and from my own ethics, is always to relieve suffering in any way that you can. But this, to be honest, is not a life-threatening wound, eh? She is going to be uncomfortable, but see, here's a big thorn in here. She's uncomfortable, but as I say, if you're dead for a long time. So I think her quality of life is perhaps not that bad. And then for the sake of the two calves, particularly the very small one, it might get to the point when his bones are exposed and she's really battling to walk a lot. At the moment the vegetation is good, so the food is plentiful. I think we're going to have to give her the benefit of the doubt here.
But Pete, I got a few little questions for you here.
Sure.
So as I said, a lot of people asking who are joining a bit later.
Yeah.
Oh, she just farted at us. They would like to know, what do we think caused the wound? Probably a piece of wood,
A piece
sharp
of wood.
stick.
Yeah, you know, when if they're running from something, a sharp stick, you know, we've seen these wounds a lot, eh? Not a lot, but the wounds that we do see often are snares or it's a natural injury, like even another tusk, or running into a speed into a sharp branch
Sickle
or
bush or
well, anything really. So usually something like a leadwood or something.
these are all the maggots.
These are all the maggots. So we're going to kill the maggots. There are a lot more maggots underneath. If we had stronger students here, I'd ask them to turn it over. But just watching the breathing there. Eh?
Yeah, so they've got guys counting.
All right, so we just cleaned it up with peroxide. And that's the stuff you girls use to dye your hair or undye it. And then I'll clean it with Hebitane, chlorhexidine, antiseptic. And then I'm going to put an insecticide in here as well. Okay, so
And then they also like, so are you going to give her an antibiotic or something like that?
Yeah, sure. No, absolutely. You know, it's as strange as it may seem. The outside, look, the inside, there's obviously some sort of I reckon what might have happened is that the whatever it was went into the joint here. So we've probably got some sort of a septic arthritis. And see, I can't feel anything here. I'm just making sure. Thing is, even if there was a snare, guys, to get it out of here is going to be impossible. Because you can't, even if I cut the knot, you're never going to pull it through here. So what I would have to do is cut the right down, and you're actually probably causing more harm than good, eh? So it hasn't cut the circulation off, so at the moment, even if it was a snare, which I'm pretty sure it's not, we would never get it out, eh? But there's a lot of maggots where my hands are now, but this is an insecticide that's going to kill them. All right.
I'm going to go put some more water on there.
Yeah, just on the ears there. Thanks.
So what Brent was saying now is, in this case, what we do is pour water on the elephant on the back of the ears, and it just helps to keep the animal cool during a process like this. Obviously, it can't keep itself cool while it is tranquilized, so it's important that we just aid it in that sense.
Yeah, so we were fortunate that it's relatively cool. You know, when it gets anything hotter to do, it's quite very risky. In the sense that the animal, so it might have to decide to do it on the ground, but helicopter is always safer, you know, when you've got calves around and other elephants around. And we were going to dart the little calf, but they ran off the other one, fortunately, so that made it a lot easier for us.
So it was quite interesting, Pete, while we were watching her this morning.
Yeah.
The little calf came and suckled, but didn't get much milk from mom.
Okay.
And the other female was allo suckling. Oh, really? So she went and she had another baby that was suckling, and then the small one went and suckled from the same female.
So you guys actually saw the little one?
Yeah, we were with them for a good 2.5 hours this morning.
And the great news is that that calf was full of energy.
Yes.
Revving us in the vehicle, running around, playing on trees, so we can safely say that the calf hasn't been affected at this point.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say, you know, and if we put the mother down, I mean, then there's no doubt that calf's going to die.
Yeah.
So, and she's got two calves. She had another elder one there too. So I think, given we might have to change our attitude.
What are we
and our
doing
mind
per minute?
in months to come or years to come.
Between 6 and
Once
7.
the little calf is bigger and perhaps weaned. But at the moment, there's no, in my opinion, no no ways in hell that we're
So
going
we put between 6 and 7 breaths per minute. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I don't know if you heard Brent saying 6 or 7 breaths per minute. So what we're doing, do you remember when she initially went down and we placed the stick in the trunk? It's very important through a procedure like this that we do continue to monitor breathing rate, and we report back to Pete and he will tell us as to what's normal, what's abnormal and so forth, and just helps to really monitor the whole situation.
You can also look at the
You can
so-called
feel
blood,
the
the blood pressure behind the ears. You can see the filling of the veins. If those veins are full like that, I'm pretty happy. It's when they're flat that there's a probability or possibility of something going wrong or being wrong.
Oh, here comes the big job.
Okay, so this is the students that don't behave. Bring that bottle, please, Brent. Okay, this is long-acting penicillin, eh? Big volumes. Can't take a penknife to a gunfight, eh? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give it probably 200 mils. So that's 60 I gave there now, so another 3.5 to go. I think, eh?
You have another one you want me to get?
Yeah, I need another one there, please, Brent, yeah.
And Pete, do you reckon that was a burst abscess perhaps?
No.
Not at all.
I
huh?
just think it's a chronic sinus, you know, it's separating all the time, eh? Okay. All right, so then we're going to give her a painkiller as well. Now, one must also remember that, well, I'm going to tell you that if you give, there's certain painkillers that if you, in fact, most of them, if you give them intravenously, is that they're very sensitive. The veins are very sensitive to the actual chemicals inside there. So they
Farty.
you can get the vein actually gets destroyed, gets blocked, and that piece of the ear actually dies off. Oops, I'm getting more penicillin on me. These old Chinese syringes, eh?
Pete, so while we're busy here, can I let the students come take photos and stuff like that? So,
Brent, what you can do for me as well is just put some of that eye ointment in the eye. It's in the top tray there. So we're not far away from
right in front of me. Okay, so guys, anyone wants to take a picture with her up at the front and stuff, so just come around, take turns.
Inject in various different injection sites.
So we just, am I muted again? I can't remember. No. Okay, so what we're doing here now is to make sure her eye doesn't dry out. You would have seen us do this with lots of different animals. So I just put it in there. There we go.
That's it, thanks, Brent.
Sure.
If you're prettier, you could come work for us.
I'm missing Janelli today.
Yeah, me too. You join the club.
Some buffalo on our stuff here.
Okay. Oh, look, we're being stared at by a buffalo. So being out in the wild, we were worried about elephants, but there's some buffalo there. Hopefully, a big group like this, they should move away. Is it a breeding herd or duggers? Breeding herd. Okay, that should be fine. Much rather have a breeding herd staring at us than a dugger boy. Yeah.
Sorry, you guys, you students have been very well behaved. You want to ask any questions? Can I maybe help you with any answers that you may have? Or Jerry, ask Jerry the pilot.
Yeah, Jerry likes interviews. Jerry's going to take his chances with the buffalo.
Hanging around in the background there, just watching the process take place at the moment.
Okay, how are we going here? So guys, we will do a little...
Impaled and then came out, right?
Yeah. So just you know that these dead trees like these
Redwoods.
red bush willows and the redwoods, when they dry out like that, they like it's like driving over one of these stumps. It just pops your tire. So you can imagine an elephant running into this.
Yeah.
That's my gut feeling, guys. You know, I could be wrong, but I don't see any scars from a snare. And if it is, it's very deep, eh? See the maggots falling out there? Yeah.
The bottom here, what's that?
All right, that's just from dragging that foot.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought maybe something went through the bottom.
Maybe.
But it doesn't look...
Yeah, it looks like it's infected from the inside and sort of...
It's also, there looks like there might have been something even higher up here.
Yeah,
This could have been an old snare, yeah, you see. Yeah, when I look at that
circulation was
now.
cut off.
When I look at that now, yeah. So the circulator, yeah, that's probably more likely, eh? So, yeah, but the snare is long gone, eh, guys? But it must have been on for a long time if it was a snare. This is the biggest problem we're sitting with now. But again, so this looks ultimately that it probably was many years ago. A snare wound there. Yeah. I think for the sake of the calves and the sake of the animals, we've been living with it for a long time. We've been living with it for a long time, for years and years and years. So let's just leave well alone, okay?
So it's well that she has 2 healthy calves.
And the fact that the calf was running around full of energy. Yes. Yeah. So as you can see, it is quite a process, this whole darting procedure, and I think, like we've said countless times, we're very lucky and very fortunate to have the team that we have got here. They were actually busy with other operations this morning, but you know, we always, as Brenton mentioned earlier, we've got this for a.
So the buffaloes are quite inquisitive.
Yeah, the buffaloes are really taking a good look at us here.
Bring the vehicles close if you want.
Or just park the vehicles. Someone bring the vehicle. We put the vehicles between us and the buffaloes.
Yeah. All right, guys. So yeah, I was looking more at the bottom of the foot than the top, and I just looking up higher. You can see that there was definitely a traumatic injury higher up there in the past. Eh? Okay, so what I'm going to put on now.
Okay, guys, come to
Okay.
bring the vehicles closer.
The vehicle just a bit closer.
So core staff only. So 2 of you can stay monitoring the breathing till the vehicles come in between us and the buffalo. So the buffalo are just curious. They're not being aggressive at the moment. They hopefully will run away. We're just going to move some vehicles in between. But you've always got to be careful with buffalo. Generally with breeding herds, they're normally fine. If it was like 3 or 4 Duggar boys, I'd feel a little bit less comfortable. But it should be fine. But yeah. Let's not spread out, guys. Let's try stay in a group. Eco training guys, follow your instructors, please.
Right,
So Vex, you can't move this car. Victoria, you can't move that car. It's the signal. It has to stay.
No, just bring in a little bit forward.
It's got to block otherwise we'll lose
Just to have just so we got this little area we can always get behind the vehicle.
Not worried about it. Come. Yeah.
Okay, guys, you can.
So they can stay. They're monitoring breathing.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're monitoring breathing. Or actually, Sarah.
Yeah.
Can you monitor breathing, please? So you guys, sorry, your instructors. Cool. So, yeah. So,
Jerry, I think we can say good luck getting back to your helicopter. You might have to make quite a quick run for it. How fast can you run?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Buffalo
Get in, start up and go.
Faster than the slowest person.
No.
Exactly.
Me and Pete got caught between the helicopter and some lions the other day.
That must have been eventful.
Yeah. But the weather is actually doing us lots of favors this morning. There's cloud cover coming over.
Yeah.
Normally at this time of the day and at this time of the year, we're dealing with temperatures well into the 90s, up into the 100s Fahrenheit. Yeah. So it's been actually really, really fortunate the way the weather's treated us today. There we go, the buffaloes have run away.
That's all the students.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so this is an anti-inflammatory we're going to give. So I really have changed my original approach because I was just concentrating on the wound at the bottom. But you can see that this was definitely a snare all the way around, but many moons ago, years and years and years ago. It's probably one of the oldest snare wounds I've ever seen.
So if you feel, you can feel, so you watch my hands on the skin here, you can see I can get a bit of pinch on here. Here it's hard, it's calloused. It's gone almost rock hard here. And that's above the swelling. Shame, girl.
Yeah, so that makes me even more inclined to keep her going.
Yeah. And also, I mean, Pete has seen over the years the incredible tenacity of wild animals and what they can survive, what we as humans think would be absolutely impossible.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to give it something called Dectomax as well as to kill the maggots.
Jeez, look at the maggots falling off here.
It lasts for about 3 weeks.
Matt, I don't know if we'll be able to get the maggots here, and it kind of just shows of how much Pete really got in there and really cleaned it up.
So when we were looking this morning, we could only see a couple of maggots with the camera from the edge. But now with that peroxide and whatnot, the maggots are falling out. And insecticide as well.
Students misbehave, ons moet gaan neer sien. Cheap syringe, I mean, like penicillin, half of it.
I see. I need a top up of penicillin, right? You know what?
For your deworming, Brent.
For my deworming.
For your deworming.
So we're talking about deworming this morning on Live Drive. I said I deworm myself every 6 months, just in case. So you're touching wild dogs and lions and stuff, you don't know what kokos you catch.
That is a great answer.
Brent, we just off here.
See, I get teased all the time. Oh, sorry.
Can you put in your password, please?
Cool.
You take the same stuff.
Exactly, Mary. I mean, the fact that she was so relaxed with the vehicle, she was in 4 or 5 meters of us, feeding very relaxed, shows she's actually had to live with this wound for an incredibly long time.
Dectomax, eh? This is just to kill the maggots.
So.
Okay, it's big volumes, guys, but it's a big animal, so. These needles is a little bit in the back.
Yeah. Shame they go.
Yeah. All right, I must be honest that elephants are one of my favorite patients, favorite animal, but also favorite patients because, as you can see, you know, we've done many anesthetics in our careers, and this elephant as a patient is one of the best ones, eh? I'm just a little bit concerned about that leg, but there's not a hell of a lot we can do about it. So I do want to wake her up now. So I think the guys, yeah, just move off a little bit. I mean, to the road would be fine, I would suggest. I don't know, it's up to you guys.
So
Just take all the equipment away.
where do you want them this side, eh? So we want the vehicles between the helicopter and the elephant. Yeah. So with a bunch of vehicles between the helicopter and the elephant. Also her herd. Where's Matt? I don't even know where I'm supposed to be looking. Oh, Matt's looking there. Are you doing the breathing? So the herd went to the north. So we're going to park all the vehicles and stuff for wake up to the south. So when she wakes up, she's more than likely going to head north back into the direction of the herd. Now, of course, as stressful as this is for the animal, it is going to make her life that much better. And hopefully all the drugs and whatnot that were put in will definitely help her. And I mean, as Pete was saying, apart from her leg in the state it is, she's actually not in bad condition. She's looking well. Yeah, and I'm just very happy that we've been able to be here and bring you on this procedure. And again, a big thank you to Balule for allowing us, and to Pete and Jerry for the incredible work, and Anton, who's hiding from the camera. Anton, come say hi quickly to everyone.
Difficult for him to hide.
So a big thank you to Anton and Pridelands for allowing us to do this here, and being able to create awareness and whatnot is very important. So thank you, sir.
Thanks, bud. Yeah. Just a note, Pridelands is part of the Balule Nature Reserve. We're proudly part of that greater reserve in tackling conservation challenges. Thanks.
And then, of course, a big thank you to Conserv and to you, the viewers who have donated for the costs of helping this poor female elephant. So a massive thank you to you. We're not going off yet. We're just doing our thank yous. Pete's getting ready to wake her up. And then we'll stay with Pete, and then we'll jump in the car and we will watch her wake up. Yeah. Okay, do you want me to put one more dose of water on her, or are you happy?
All right.
So, UK, there we go. You can do your exercise today. Just take it to one of the eco training cars. Yeah, you can take the stick out. There we go. She actually fell reasonably well.
There we go.
All right. Okay. So how many minutes, Pete, generally for everyone at home?
2 minutes max.
2 minutes max. So, yeah. So we got 2 minutes. Antidotes in.
Okay, so I'm going to take the flap off because they tend to get a.
Oh, yeah.
If you take the flap back, and then you want your.
Yeah, I was going to have to go for a bath.
You want your handkerchief?
Yeah. Okay. So everyone who's on our vehicle, jump in. Pete, you're going to just walk with Jerry. Cool. Oh, someone short's been in my car. Nice, boys.
That was very quick.
Awesome. So this is how we always wish these type of operations go. However, obviously, Thomas, hy word wakker nou, wag daar. Wag daar. Sorry. Thomas was trying to get to a car on the wrong side, but he can stay on the ground behind here. It'll be fine. So the buffalo are back.
Showing a bit of curiosity there, wondering
So this
what's
is
going on.
curiosity, not aggression. Maddie, let me just get you in the best position. Uncle Pete, do you mind talking us through her wake up and whatnot, if you don't mind? So Joffert,
Pete, I think you
More?
come and sit where I am.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll jump in the back with Matt,
There you go. You happy?
and then at least and then you can
you happy with us here,
explain
Pete?
it nicely.
Cool. So if we haven't got to your questions, I apologize. It's been quite a lot going on. But yeah, so absolutely amazing. Thank you very much, Pete. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, no, man. Thanks. I'm just glad you're able to help there, Greg.
Yeah. And again, that's so important. Why you guys are so important when it comes to donations and stuff. Oh, there she is. She's waking up.
Okay. She's going to be a little bit lame on that left back leg because she's been lying on it. There we go.
Look at that. That's perfect.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
So you can see better now with that old snare wound.
Shame. See her back leg's a little bit dead.
Slowly waking up.
Pins and needles like we would have if we sleep funny.
Yeah, you see that? You can see she's wobbling a little bit. I've seen Brent walk like that before.
Just remember when we both walked like that.
Yeah.
Pete and I broke our ankles at about the same time.
Yeah.
We were hobbling around for a while.
Crutches, yeah.
Yeah.
But mine was workable.
Yeah, your story is better than mine. But a student drove over your foot.
Yeah.
And a lion collaring or lion darting. Or
Lion darting.
lion darting. I fell over fishing. So yeah, your story is definitely better.
You know, we left the darting, but we couldn't get it out. Eh?
Yeah, it's deep.
It was lying right on that side.
Yeah. Okay.
But it doesn't matter, it'll come out. It'll come out against a tree or something. Beautiful, the lacquer darts, they're really nice ones. That's what I use now.
So you can see, even with her trunk, she's smelling us. The wind is actually coming from behind us.
Yeah.
And with those low frequency rumbles, I'm pretty sure she'll be able to find her herd very quickly.
Absolutely. Just a little bit of penicillin on her tail there, because syringes.
Well, the vultures might get confused.
Yeah.
They think, oh yeah, there's a free meal. I can see my friends
Been there before.
been there, yeah.
And good news is at least we'll be able to identify it pretty easily now with the
next few
penicillin on the
days.
bum.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's funny that she hasn't been spotted before, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame, man.
Well done, Pete. Well done, Gary.
Yeah, no, thanks,
Nice.
Anton.
And
Very well done to everybody, and
Everybody,
a
yeah.
huge thank you to everyone that was involved today.
Yeah.
It's always something incredibly special when you have such a successful operation.
You guys notice that dart is still in. I couldn't get it out because she was lying on it, eh? And I asked you guys to pick the elephant up, but I mean, obviously you couldn't.
Where's this person when you need him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the dart will fall out. It doesn't have a strong barb or anything on it, so it will fall out, eh? So that's not a problem.
there we go. It looks like she's getting a bit more movement to that back left now. The blood flows back in.
So that was originally a man-made problem, but you know, it's turned into be another problem now with that foot. But she seems to be coping all right, you know, and I think that wound on the foot will probably, with time, maybe even granulate and heal up, you know. The healing powers of these wild animals is just something else. So I think we as vets take a lot of credit where we shouldn't when these animals do heal up. And they're much tougher and seem to be much more resilient to wounds than human beings would be. So yeah, so she's walking in the right direction, but they'll call, and look, she is walking with a limp, sure. But
And obviously that painkiller is going to help for the next little while.
the
And
next 3 or 4 days, yeah. But I just think she's got so used to living with it. It would be cruel to think of any other way out, you know.
yeah.
She's got this far. Why take it away from her now, you know? And her conditions is fair, no?
yeah.
Not bad at all.
And even when I saw some of her dung and stuff, it wasn't like she was digesting a normal amount for an elephant. It wasn't like she was struggling. Her dung wasn't runny or you know. But I think that's definitely going to help her. She's going to feel a lot better.
I think we also know now, because you would have worried all of us before we hadn't intervened, you know, so what's going on? Is it a snare? Is it a snare we can take off?
Yeah.
The answer is no, but we know now. You know?
Exactly.
And we know that there's actually nothing more we can do for her.
So hopefully she hangs around for a bit and we can keep an eye on her over the next few days. But yeah, a big thank you to everyone. Massively successful operation. Even with the unwanted crowd. You see the unwanted crowd behind us there, Matthew? They're getting closer and closer. They're just being curious. So nice to have buffalo. So 2 big 5-in-1 fighting while doing a conservation experience. So again, a massive thank you to everyone who's donated, and to Conserv.earth, to the Painted Dog TV fans, to Dunlop, to Lead Lenser, to Stanley, and to Rogue. So really a big thank you to all of you. Everyone together makes these type of things possible. Working together is the best solution for conservation. Working with each other is the only option for us to do the maximum amount of good for these animals as possible. And again, a very, very special shout out to Pete and Jerry, the legends, and you know exactly what they're doing and when to do it. And again to Ian Novak and the rest of the Balule management team for allowing us to be part of this incredible operation, and to Anton and Eco Training and Pridelands for the incredible work they do here, and to having such sort of landowners that get involved and help animals when it's needed. But from a Conserv.earth and Painted Dog TV, it's been an absolute blast. What a way to spend a Saturday. I think we're all going to go flop down and get a little bit of rest. We've been up since 3:30, or you, I only got up at 4. He got up at 3:30.
Pretty long day so far, but when you see it happening and then you see a successful operation, it just gives you that extra energy. I feel like I could go for another day.
Yeah, exactly. So much love, and we will see you all soon. Those on Private Safari this afternoon, you'll be with Victoria. I'm sure she will see if they can find this Ilya again. But for now, it's time for us to love you and leave you. Mwah!
Bye-bye all. Thank you so much.